What's up, YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Terapagos in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put it below in the comment section of the video. And if you enjoy these videos, as I get you thinking, drop a like and let's get into it. So Terapagos is the new Pokemon from Indigo Disc. It is really bulky and it's got some incredible stats and some cool quirks about it. So let's have a look at it. So with Terapagos, it starts off as the little baby sort of turtle, the base form, and when you actually send it into the battle, it'll transform right away. So you can't use the Terapagos base. So then it'll go into Terapagos Terastal form, which is this one here. Now, these are the stats for it. So we've got definitely a good health stat there of 95. Attack is pretty good too. Defense is very good. Special attack's very, every stat's pretty good. The speed's a little bit shaky, but overall it's a pretty solid Pokemon. Now, its type is normal, and obviously you have the Stellar type for it, which I'll explain and stuff as we get into it. So its ability is Terastal. Now, this ability is very good. So if it's at full health, attacks taken have the effectiveness changed to 0.5 unless they are obviously naturally immune. So what that means is it's going to have a lot of ability to be able to set up or to get some free damage on there. Also, if you get the say if you're reversing an opponent and you're able to get your health back, say with like rest or something like that, that actually resets the ability. It's actually very good. Now, it does have a Terapagos Stellar form too, which I'll show you here. You can see its stats are even higher. So what happens? Its health goes from 95 base to 160, which is crazy. Its attack goes to 105. Its defense stays the same. Its special attack goes to 130. And special defense stays the same, and so does speed. So overall, it's got a 700 BST. So it's a crazy Pokemon there. But obviously, when it's in its final Stellar form, it's got Terraform 0. So what Terraform 0 does is when you tetralize the Pokemon, it ends the effects of weather and terrain once per battle. So it's kind of like it was there to put in there to counter stuff like Miraidon and things, and Koraidon and stuff like that. So you can get rid of those weather and terrain, which is quite good. So just something to think about there. Unfortunately, you do lose Terastal too, which is pretty good. But in trade for that, you get like this, ginormous look at health stat. It's wild and like more special stats. So anyway, let's have a look at some of the sets. I just want to explain some of the mechanics there so you know what's going on if you didn't. So probably the set you'll see the most, I believe, will be like a Calm Mind set. This can either be a bulky set or more of a speedy set. So the first one I've got is like a Calm Mind tank. So I've got Calm Mind here. We got Terra Starstorm, which is its signature move. It's a special normal type move with 120 base power. And obviously against Stellar, when in its Stellar form, or when it uses, well, even when it's not in its Stellar form, it's super effective against other Terra Pokemon, which is going to be like really good. So you'll find the opponent may not want to Terra against you, so it's good at stopping that, right? Now, the other move I've given is Earth Power, so it's a normal type move, so Earth Power gives it a bit of coverage, and I've given it Resto Chesto too. So this is going to reset the Terastal. Even if you don't want to Stellar it, you can just reset its ability, and it's very bulky when you have a look at it. So I've given the EV spread here as max health, so with 95, it's very nice. 110 base defense, so we're giving it max in defense, and I've given it bold nature, so very tanky. Then we've got Calm Mind to boost up the special attack and special defense, which are very respectable already. And it's going to be very hard to feint, that is for sure. So that's a good thing about it. And you're basically guaranteed a Calm Mind with having the Terastal there. No worries. So you could always, Calm Mind. Even if you're versing something really powerful, that's hitting you hard, you could go Calm Mind, and then next to, like, they break that Terastal, then you could go Rest, and then you could attack them if you wanted to, or, stuff like that. So it's definitely a good bulky setup Pokemon. For argument's sake too, you could go more offensive with it. So say if you're like, I want to try and make use of its speed. So I know it's not the greatest speed in the world, so you could adjust that. So say you might want Modest, and then you could go max speed and max special attack. That way you'd be hitting a lot harder. and then maybe you won't want rest on there, or maybe you still want that recovery on there too. So that's like another option. Another move you could use in there is Dark Pulse as well. You might be able to, if you want to hit like, say you want to hit stuff like Goldingo or Corviknight. Corviknight might be a problem, so another one could be Flamethrower, just for coverage and stuff like that too. So that'd be just the ones I would suggest. If you want to drop rest, you can. You could give it like, for example, if you don't want that, you could give it Leftovers, and then you could give it like another coverage move like Earth Power. So that would allow you to hit, you know, Steel and stuff like that. And if you had that, I'd probably adjust Flamethrower to Thunderbolt. So that gives you like some good coverage there. So that's another way of doing it. So there's a bulky or a sweeping sort of calm mindset. That could work too. And of course, you've got the Stellar type. It has to be Stellar type. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is for that first one. Let's have a look at the next one here. So this is a Calm Mind Polish set. So it does get Rot Polish, which is pretty cool. So I've got Rot Polish and Calm Mind. Now, most of the time, you probably wouldn't consider putting 2 status moves like this on a set. But with Terastal, it actually, you do have a chance of being able to set both of those up. So I've given it max health and max special attack, right? So same as the other one, but running health instead of speed or whatever. So, and we've got Leftovers as the item. So we got Terastal, which is good, and we got Flamethrower. I feel like they give probably the best overall coverage, and that's gonna be very, very nice. And I reckon you could go. I reckon you go Rot Polish the first turn, get your speed up, so it's going to outspeed pretty much everything then, unless it's like a super speedy Choice Scar Pokemon, and then you could Calm Mind and start attacking then. So that's a way of making it a little bit faster, or you could just Rot Polish and have 3 attacking moves. You could also do that too, so that's another way. I just don't think there's much point in putting anything at speed, because you could put a little bit of, if you like really wanted to make sure you could outspeed a Choice Scarf Dragapult or something like that, you could put a little bit into speed to adjust for that or other threats. But yeah, just thought I'd, there's no point putting the whole lot into speed, especially with Rot Polish. So that's another way you could run Calm Mind as well. Another great way of running it is Assault Vest too. This could definitely work in doubles for sure. So I'd say they're probably a little bit better for singles, and these next couple of ones would be good for doubles. So let's have a look at this. So we've got Assault Vest on top of its ginormous stats already. So this is a little bit of a different sort of EV build. So I've got this one as max defense, and I've also got a max special attack. Now, the reason I've done this is because we're maximizing on its defense. It's already got a really nice health stat already, especially when you go into Stellar. Remember, you'll go from a base 95 to 160. So that's going to make up for you not having any health in there, right? So that's going to be very, very good. So you've got that max defense. You've got an Assault Vest on top of 110 base. So it's going to be really, really tanky. And it's going to be hitting like super, super hard. So we've got Terastal, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Earth Power. This gives it very, very good coverage all around. Especially if you're using Stellar too. So that's going to give you that nice spread of moves for your Terra-type Stellar. Now, if you wanted to, it depends. Like, you could have like a Trick, you could go for Trick Room if you wanted to, if you had Quiet. It's I think it's slow enough, but it still might get outsped by a couple of things there. So you might have to give up like Assault Vest for like room service or something like that. You won't be as bulky on the special side, but you will still be like okay. So that's another way of looking at it too. But man, this is, I tried this out. It's very, very tanky, and it hits really, really hard. And it's crazy once you get that Stellar going. So it's just that insane amount of health, like 160 base health when you Stellar is wild. So that's like another way you could actually try that. So yeah, as you can see, it's more of a, I would say this is a better special attacker than a physical attack. I'll do some physical builds and stuff like that throughout this. I've got some other ideas and stuff, but mainly a special attacker, right? So next one, we're going to have a look at we'll have a look at some more doubles here as well. I would suggest that for singles and doubles. I think that's really good. So for doubles here, let's have a look at this. So I've given it just some spread moves here. So we've got a speedier set, so max special attack and max speed, modest nature. You could go bulky on that. I don't mind. I don't mind. This is okay. So we've got Leftovers as the item. You could have, Yeah, you could have Covert Cloak on there, because that could be very, very... The thing I was thinking too, if you were using this in doubles, right? Even singles, right? Say you've got your Terra Shell. A Pokemon could come in and use Fake Out, flinch you, and then you wouldn't have Terra Shell anymore. You know what I mean? So Covert Cloak could be good. At least then you'd be able to get your attack off. That could be something you could definitely have too. So we've got Terra Starstorm, obviously. That also hits both the opponents too, which is really, really good. We've got Calm Mind to boost up your special attack and special defense. Aura Sphere is going to be good just for coverage, like, say, Steel Pokemon and Rock Pokemon, other normal Pokemon. And Dark Pulse can be for, like, any Ghost types and stuff like that. So that'd be, reasonable coverage there for sure. And yeah, I feel like that's probably the best coverage and would hit the most Pokemon in doubles. Most of like the popular Pokemon, I feel like that would. You could have Ice Beam on there too if you want to get rid of Aura Sphere. Sometimes Aura Sphere is good if you want a 100% accurate move, but you could play around with that if you like. But yeah, that's how I will probably. I'd probably build it this Assault Vest way, or I'd go this way. I feel like that's probably the best in doubles. You might be able to use like a full-on support set too. I'll go into that in a second. But yeah, they're the sets I recommend would probably be the best ones. Now, as for counters and stuff like that, let me just delete this for a second. We've got a Pimp Knight special here. I'll show you that in a sec. As for counters and teammates, I would say let's do like some counters first. So I'm thinking like fighting type Pokemon here for sure. That would definitely be, being a normal type. So I'd say Urshifu Rapid Strike would be definitely a good one for sure. And it's got, it doesn't even need to like Terror against it too. So it's going to be doing lots of damage there with its fighting type moves. And it's typing too. Another good one could be Iron Hands. That could be a nice one too. So Iron Hands. That would be very nice. Very bulky as well, and it's with stuff like Drain Punch and stuff, it's probably I'd say it would definitely outlast Terapagos for sure. In terms of damage and healing itself up. A Pokemon that I don't know, like let's say Sneasler. I'm just doing this as an example. It's not a bad one. So say like a Pokemon has Fake Out, right? You could fake it out and get rid of its ability, then attack it afterwards. So with a fighting move, so that could be another one. So a few like that definitely could be counters. I'm sure there's a couple more than that, but you get the idea, right? That's how you want to go about countering it. As for some teammates. Well, I mean, Urshifu would be good as well. Urshifu would definitely be good. I think Fluttermane would make a good partner too. I mean, Fluttermane makes a good partner for a lot of things. So, with all those fighting type Pokemon, see, like whether it's Stellar or just a normal one, its Moonblast is going to clean up a lot of those fighting Pokemon and Ghost Pokemon. So, I would say Fluttermane is an excellent partner for a Terapagos. So, that would be like my _1 pick for a partner there for sure. Getting rid of like pretty much everything in its way, so that's what I would pick there. Let's have a look here. We got a bit of a fun set here, then we're going to do some more sets and discuss some more stuff about this because it is quite an interesting Pokemon. It's very, very good for sure. So we've got a Pimp Knight special here. I always like to include at least one of these. So this is a physical set, and as you can see, I've done it on the Stellar. So you can see like its stats in Stellar are absolutely insane. So like 524 health at level 100. That's absolutely wild. And it did get an attack boost too. So I've got max health and max attack EVs. I've got Adamant Nature. So I thought with this you could go Rock Polish, and then you could have like Toxic Orb and Facade for double base power. And then you've got Crunch for Ghost types, and then Zen Headbutt for fighting types. So there you go. I think this will go all right. I'm not saying it's like super amazing, but it's got some good bulk about it, and I reckon you'll be able to surprise a few people with a physical set, which could be really cool. Like I can't believe those stats. They're insane. Like 700 all up is crazy. Let's do some other thoughts here for Terapagos. I was thinking about it does get body press, and that might not be something you want to ignore, or just at least think about. So let's have a look at that. I'm just going to build a set right here. So we got max health and max defense, obviously. We'll go, let's go Bold Nature, of course. Put the last little bit into special defense. So we got body press. That's going to be a great move there. I would get its its special move as well, I would definitely have that because it still has reasonable special, and it gets that you get that sort of spread damage. And then we've got like I'm thinking, let's have a look at status moves. I'm building this on the spot here, so we could have Calm Mind on there. That could be okay, and we could have Rest. That's actually okay. I know it's quite a simple set, but that wouldn't be all that bad. The only thing is you're going to be countered heavily by ghost type Pokemon. So if you were to use something like this, you get rid of all the ghost types because that pretty much hits everything except ghost. And then you've got like say steel types coming in. Oh, I'll just go for body press and completely like dominate them with like 110 base in defense, right? And then you've got Calm Mind boosting up the power of Terastal Storm, and then you've got like giving it some more special defensive, and then you've got Rest to heal it off there and reactivate the Terra Shell. So you could even rest without it. It'll be very, very hard. Like one turn would be used up by them just trying to break it. So something to think about there as well. I don't know if you could do... I think like Rest Sleep Talk could be interesting. I don't know, like that could be something to think about too. If you don't want to run that, you could have like Leftovers on there or whatever like that. Leftovers seems like a pretty solid item. So you could have something like that too. That could work. So you could go to sleep, rest, attack, at least attack while you're asleep. So that would be just a real pain to get rid of, especially in its stellar, in its like form after you stellar. That would be like really, really crazy to get her out. Let's have a look at some more moves and stuff that it gets here. Let's have a look at small moves. So once again, you can't use the baby. I wish you could use the baby somehow. I don't think you can though. I was thinking maybe of like neutralizing gas and wheezing or something like that, but I don't think that even works. So I don't think there's no way to use the baby, unfortunately. I guess it's like the Zygarde, the Zygarde cell, like that. At least you get to see it on the field, right? So we've got Terapagos. Let's have a look at all its status moves now. It doesn't have a lot, but we'll still have a look. So we've got Calm Mind. You'll see Calm Mind a lot on this Pokemon. Protect wouldn't be bad for doubles there. We've got Rest and Raw. You might be able to, like for singles, you might be able to make that like a phasing set. Like a bulky phasing set with Raw, and if you have like Stealth Rock, someone set a Stealth Rocks up and those sort of things, that could work. We've gone over Rock Polish. That could be a way to increase its speed. We've had a look at Rest and Sleep Talk. It even gets Stealth Rock itself, but I feel like there's better Pokemon suited to that role. It gets Sub, which is interesting. That'd be. Oh, it gets Toxic. It gets Toxic, so that could be a really annoying stall set too. That could be gross. Like you could just have like Rest and Toxic and Terastal Storm and like just another filler move there, maybe like Body Press or something. Like that could be another way of running it. That'd be like absolutely disgusting. So and you've got like, oh, it gets Gravity. That's interesting. So you could even have it like I'm just thinking on the spot. You might be able to have it as like a bulky Gravity setter or something. Like, does it have any low accuracy moves? Just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna have a look at this. It gets Stun though, so I don't know. You might be able to. You might be able to increase the accuracy. Say you've got some low accuracy moves. That could be a good Gravity setter with like Rest and Chesto and Terra. Its Terra move and stuff like that. Interesting. And then we've got like Sunny Day and Rain Dance too. So it's funny it's got those moves considering its ability. But yeah, that's its status moves. It's pretty barren like a lot of Pokemon. Let's have a look at its special moves and discuss some stuff here. So we've got Aura Sphere, which isn't bad against, hitting other normal type Pokemon, Rock Pokemon, Steel Pokemon, stuff like that. We've got Bug Buzz. You might be able to make something like Throat Spray out of it. That could possibly be an option. Dark Pulse is just good for coverage against Ghost Pokemon. We've got Dazzling Gleam. That could be good for doubles. You could have, the only thing about that, I'm trying to think what else would Terra Starstorm, like, unless you were facing... Because that's not going to give you anything like for Steel Pokemon, so that'd only be good for like super effective like Dragon and stuff like that. So you could run that still, like it's still an option to run that. Tri Attack is something interesting to think about too. Tri Attack probably more for singles though. It gets Weather Ball. That's kind of interesting. It gets Surf. I'm just showing some of like the doubles moves that it gets. So it does get a lot of these moves if you want some like Surf. Maybe you could put this on a Rain team, for Surf. Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, Surf could work on a Rain team. That could be interesting. What else we got here? And yeah, there's not too much. It does get Meteor Beam, which is, I want to have a look at that. So let's have a look at this set. This is going to be like a silly set. I'm just thinking of like how bulky the Stellar is. Let's say, for example, we did Stellar it. So we've got like Rest, Meteor Beam, Terra, Starstorm. You could have something. I'm just thinking what you could actually have, right? And then you could have like, I'll probably put Chesto on there too. You could do Sleeptalk in the like maybe another status move or coverage move or something like that. Or Calm. You've got like, so you could have like Meteor Beam to increase your stats, like special attack. Even if you didn't attack, you could have like Toxic on. I don't know. I'm just like trying to think of some like crazy, insane, like bulky set you could run here. So obviously you'd go max health. I wouldn't put any into a special attack. Yeah, I might go like, I would go like bulky, like really, really tanky on that, like defensive tanky. So you've got this, crazy one going. You could do Calm Mind on there, but Meteor Beam's already sort of got to do that. So yeah, you could go for that, or you could put a Power Herb on there or something like that. That could be rather interesting to get your first Meteor Beam off. So yeah, I just feel like it's so tanky. It could afford to do nothing for like 2 turns really. But yeah, that could be something you could go for too. Maybe you could do it in like the Terra Shell form, so you could get that guaranteed first turn, and then, you know, rest off and something like that. That could be really, really interesting for sure. Let's have a look at some other moves it's got. I think we're mainly through this Pokemon. So yeah, we've got Ice Beam as well. Sort of went over that, and yeah, let's get a good variety of special moves too. But you're definitely going to see this more as a special attacker. Let's have a look at the physical too. We won't forget about that. It does get Body Press, which is a nice move since it's got good base defense. It gets Body Slam. If you want to run a physical one, you could go for that. That's not a bad move because it can paralyze. Double Edge, I don't see that being so good because you're going to recall yourself. It's got got a good spread of moves here for sure. But yeah, it's going to be primarily a physical. You might be able to put Rapid Spin on like a support set, maybe in like obviously in singles and stuff like that. It could be could use that as support. But yeah, I really like these Assault Vest set here. This Calm Mind set, this bulky Calm Mind tank set. This is kind of interesting too. But yeah, this is a very good Pokemon. It's just so bulky and it hits really, really hard. So depending on what rule set you're playing and stuff like that, I think you'll see a fair bit of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Terapagos. I'm trying to get the rest of the newer Pokemon done. I don't think I've got too many left. I think there's only like 3 left. So I'll get them. They'll be done in this year for sure. We've only got like a week left of this year. So I'll get all those done. And then if you've got any other Pokemon that are introduced into the DLC, like returning, please put them in the comment section. I want to try and do some of those new ones too and stuff like that. All right, people. Thank you for watching. If it helped, drop a like, leave a comment and things like that. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.